All right. It says I am live. All right, we're going live on Instagram. Hello. Let's get some tunes going while we wait. Yeah, this is my jam. Hey. How's everybody doing?
Baby, I'm a fighter, never backing down. Baby, I'm a soldier, standing my ground. But if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you gonna get is battle scars. Baby, I'm a fighter, 27. Baby, I'm a fight for right you dead. But if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you gonna get is battle scars. What can I say any more than desire? More than just a pretty face. So can you better walk away? Oh yeah. Only one love, but it's harder than fire. Someone who can handle me. Someone from your heart to bleed. Oh yeah. If you try to come closer, I'ma give you some closure. For you know it's over. So run away. I'm not trying to hurt you, but I will if I had to. I'ma tell you what I do. Run away. Baby, I'm a fighter, never backing down.
Hey guys. Hey tribe, what's going on? Thank you for coming to today's live video, live presentation of QueenTashaTV. Shout out to Patrick today, sending good vibes to you. I know, and condolences to some special people that you have lost. So everybody send some positive vibes to Patrick. Good evening, John. Hello, Maya. That's my niece. I'm doing great. I'm doing as great as I can be. I'm in good spirits despite the shit of a day that it has been. And we will get into that in a moment. If you are here today for the full moon ceremony, make sure you go ahead and sage your space and clear the vibes, because I'm doing my best to clear the vibes on my end. This is a little Dragon's Blood. Hey Ty, hey Donnie and Jesse on Instagram. Baby, I'm a soldier, standing my ground. So if you're gonna fight me for my heart, all you're gonna get is battle scars. All right, let's get into this live. If you haven't already, make sure you clear your space. I'm going to try to not, transfer any energy through, but there is a lot of powerful energy coming through right now, and I will get into why in just a second. Shout out to everybody that is here, and I appreciate your support. So gratitude first. I am going to do my best to be a great host. Today has definitely been a rough day, but it's funny that it falls on the full moon because it is part of some releasing that I need to do. That is overdue, and I'm working on it. So just let's start with the life update, and then we'll get into our little mini moon, full moon ritual that I want to share with you guys. So let me do a day today life update, because let me tell you, today has been a day. If you don't know, I am currently work camping in the Orlando area in Sanford for a lady who breeds schnauzers, and I absolutely love it. Like, I'm cleaning, but I'm mostly just being around the energy of dogs. And if you've ever had a dog, like, you understand that energy. And like, there's puppies being born and mom, but like, of all things that I ever thought breeding would be, like, this is the most ideal situation because I was really unsure about how I felt about breeding until I came here. And although I still feel a little bit bad for the dogs just because, they're not choosing this life, but they are being taken care of, like, seriously. Very taken care of to the highest end of ends. They are high maintenance dogs and they require some high maintenance lifestyle. So this is definitely the best life they're living in the circumstances they are in. But today, we were just getting ready to wrap up the day, and one of the dogs went missing. Just vanished into complete air. Was out for maybe 10, 15 minutes, completely vanished. And we was just like baffled. We searched around the property, outside, inside, for over an hour looking for this dog, and it just didn't make sense on how it could have gotten out. And long story short, it was inside. It had found a little vulnerable spot under the storage container that is right on the side of me, like right outside this window. There's a storage container, and underneath was some little digging stuff. And these dogs love to dig, and she found within a matter of minutes. Now, here's a little backstory. So, this dog is in the same room as another dog that earlier today had went missing for like 10 minutes. And me and a new girl who is here, I'm still fairly new. I'm 2 months in, and there's still 2 dogs that hate me. One that went missing today. And we'll get into that. And then there's another one who's like a teenager who's just a diva. She's beautiful, but she's a fucking diva, and she has Dory syndrome. So like every time I see her, she barks at me. But then, if I give her a treat, she's like, okay, I remember you, but we're only on a treat basis. And anyways, so long story short, the dog got stuck under the storage container. Now, Muffin must have told her that there was a little tunnel under there, which is her roommate, because they're the only 2 that did this today. Muffin went missing earlier for about 10 minutes. Paris went missing for 2 hours. Yo, 2 hours after I was supposed to get off work, we looking for this dog. She done got herself stuck up under the storage container. And it really triggered a lot for me because just over a year ago, my dog went missing. And it's so crazy because we were talking about this today. I was talking about this with the owner and 2 of my other coworkers, and it was triggering just to even have that conversation because it was like brought up like, I'm like, I don't really want to talk about this, but okay. And then 2 dogs go missing. So it's just like, what a fucking lesson today, right? It definitely brought up some stuff, but it's also reminding me that I need to do some shadow work. And there's been a lot of stuff that I've been avoiding. And with full moon rituals, it's all about release. It's all about releasing what no longer serves you, releasing anything that you want, that you feel just like it's no longer serving you. This is a time to call that intention into the universe. And so that's basically what the full moon ritual is going to be about, is just releasing. It's not any special, ritual doesn't have to be this whole thing. It's all about intentions and just releasing what no longer serves you. And yeah, we'll get into that. So prior to that, the life update that I wanted to share with you guys is that I am going to be taking about a month-ish plus break from YouTube. And I know that this might not be the greatest idea as far as the algorithm. The algorithm is a mystery just like the Matrix. And it blesses certain people and it doesn't. And I'm burnt out right now. I am working a part-time job 4 days a week, and then also on the days that I have off, trying to do some other things for my other businesses. And prior to getting here, this was the solution for recalibrating my mental health. And the plan is going really great. Like, I'm loving the structure. I'm loving being able to have the energy of the dogs. Like, the energy of a dog, okay, is it's so magical because they're so fucking happy to see you all the time. Except for these two dogs, okay? Like, you can't, like I thought I was the dog whisperer until I came to this house. And there's like two dogs that don't like me. One is Wildfire, who's a teenager, and two is Paris, the one who got lost today. In attempts to save this little bitch, she tried to bite me. Okay. What do you do when you and one other girl are here to save her and she doesn't like you? I don't even know why. It's teaching me a lesson in that, you know, not everybody is gonna like you, and you're just gonna have to be okay. But yeah, so I need a break. Although I am absolutely loving fulfilling the dream of making videos and sharing my experience with you guys, who I'm so grateful for the people who tune into all of my videos all the time. It's not the same return in energy that I'm putting in. And right now I'm in the energy of grinding. Like, I really want to have a transformative explosion, expansion in all of my businesses that I do. And I have to make time to focus on other things. And I put a lot of my focus on my free time right now during this, grind mode, into my YouTube videos. And like I said, I absolutely love making them. I love editing them. I love how they come out, for the most part. And I love sharing that with you guys. And I love all the people that freaking watch those videos every week. And I'm super grateful. But the return in energy that that I'm putting in isn't coming out. So I really need to re-strategize, which comes with the fact that I really have been craving to want to do a life admin, or a life reset, which is just like restructuring things, re-strategizing things, and finding time to focus on growth. And that's the time that I really haven't had. First, it was traveling, trying to do the whole thing, all the things, plus travel and socialize and have fun and live my best life and all that stuff, on top of trying to build and grow businesses, including YouTube, and making YouTube videos and editing YouTube videos and living on the road and doing all of that. Like, it became very overwhelming, which is why I came back to Florida, my happy place, and to post up for the winter and to regain some structure, regain some stability. And part of that plan right now is to have some life admin time and also to just give myself a break and re-strategize. I'm not going away forever, so don't feel that. But I realized that one of the biggest things that I need to release in this full moon and all consecutive full moons is feeling like I'm alone in this process of growth. Like, I have a real fear of asking people for help. And I'm so grateful for the people that just offer their help because it makes it easier. It still doesn't always feel as good as I want it to be, but the fear of asking for help is still very, very much there. And I know that I can't build an empire by myself. So I am going to be reaching out for help on certain things, mostly business related, and seeing if there are people that want to help me. So, and it's not just, oh, what can I do to help? Like, I need actual people who know what they're doing. My biggest weakness is marketing, and like I feel like I always have a good product, but nobody knows about it. So marketing is a big thing, and some of the other future ventures that I have that are outside of YouTube that I want to expand on. So I am going to be stepping out of my boundaries through some shadow work, through some full moon rituals to release that fear and break through and not be afraid to ask for help. So a couple of things, if anybody knows anybody in the Florida area that I need immediate help on, is one, I'm looking for a photographer to make another Queen Tasha calendar for next year. I need somebody that's in the Florida area that wants to collaborate on taking the photos for these pictures and then helping with like pushing it once it's done. Once the photos are taken, I feel like I'm gonna take the lead in putting my razzle dazzle on it, you know. And so I'm gonna make the calendar, but I need somebody to help me with it, and then also to help photograph it, and then if they, have an influence, to help push it. So the other thing I really want to do is do a YouTube channel audit, which is something I found out was a thing through Clubhouse. There's a group that I follow that does channel audits, and I haven't had my channel audited, but I would like to. And there's a few people that I respect that make videos, that I watch their videos, that I'm inspired by their videos, that I know personally. And I would love to, again, it just like comes back to the asking for help. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that they would say yes. It's just the fact of breaking the barrier of even asking. So yeah. So those are the most immediate things. And then other projects that proceed. So I will talk about those on later date, but there's other things that I've mentioned, I think, on lives before, but that I have envisioned or have plans for a course, for an app, for a platform of what I've been doing for the last 3 years as a snowbird, which is barter camping. And so I just need some tech savvy people, some people who are mutually invested that know. I think my biggest barrier of not wanting to ask people for help is that I value people's time as much as I value myself. And I feel like if your time is valuable, I should be able to pay you. And because I can't pay you because I ain't got it like that, then I don't want to ask you for the help, even though you might be mutually beneficial in a partnership that there's no money in advance, but we both have the potential to make money from it. So again, working on that. And it's not that I don't want to, that I'm taking a break from YouTube because I don't have content ideas or I'm not creatively stimulated. I have all this stuff that I want to film, that I want to do, and all of that. But through this initial making time for the grind, like the job that I have, it leaves very little time to like film, edit, and publish a video within the 3 days that I have off. Also, eating, same time, self-care, like there's so many hours in a day, and I wish that we could get on another schedule and do a 48-hour day. That would be dope, because that's how a lot of us are operating. Anyway, but yeah, so it's not that I'm gonna be not making content, it's just that I'm not going to be forcing myself to put out a video each week. And if you've seen my consistency over the last couple of months, there's been weeks that I didn't put out a video, and it wasn't because I was like, fuck it. It was because I didn't have time to sit down and edit a video. And for me, that editing time, if I already have the content filmed, is about 2.5 days, 2 full 1.5 days to cut in, cut out, transitions, captions, voiceover, music, all of that. That process has got to about, I would say 3 days max for me for one video. Cheers to all the people that edit their videos on a phone, because I don't even know how y'all are doing. But when I watch those videos, you can tell that it was edited on a phone, because there's not a whole lot of razzle dazzle to it. Like, I take a lot of pride in what I put out, in the quality as best that I know from me being self-taught videographer and self-taught editor through the different softwares that I use. So, and music is super important to me, which the next video before I go on this break, because the break will start in December, which is in a week and a half. God damn it. I want to put out a Epidemic Sound playlist video, because there are so many songs that are my faves from some of the videos. And if you watch my videos on a regular basis, you know that there's some that I repeat because they're like really dope songs that nobody would ever even know or hear about unless you have an Epidemic Sound or you have people, YouTube creators, that are pushing this music in their videos. And I want to just do a little simple, jazzy, visual thing from some clip videos of the top of my favorite songs. I don't know how many I'm going to put in the list initially, but it's going to be some of the dope songs. And I really put a lot of effort. That's probably what takes the longest, is sitting and listening to music and then figuring out the vibe of the music to put to the visuals that you're going to see. So just know that that's a whole process. That's a whole process. And I enjoy that process. I really, really do. It's not that I don't enjoy making videos. It's not that I wouldn't mind making videos for free. I just have to make sure that I'm taken care of. And so right now the grind time is this. This is the bread and butter, the job that I'm working with the dogs, which is more than paying for itself in money, in what I'm earning, and then also in the experience. I'm learning so much about dogs. I'm getting to be around dog energy. I'm being able to have all that puppy love without having the like real responsibility of it yet. And like, I couldn't have manifested a better freaking outcome. And that's basically what we're going to get into for this full moon ritual. So if you didn't know, today is a full moon in Taurus. It's actually an eclipse, which I think happened earlier this morning. But I am no astrologer by any means. I am a astrology enthusiast. I watch a lot of videos about what's going on in transits and things, because I do believe that what happens above, so below. And so what's happening in the stars, what's happening amongst the moon, the sun, all of the energy that's happening in our universe is transferring down here on our earthly plane that we are consciously aware of in this 3D matrix. And I like to honor that. I like to be aware of that. And so there's two people that I really follow when it comes to this for guidance, which is Alina Alive. She's on YouTube and Instagram, and also Elevation 44. She's also on Instagram and YouTube. And I watch both of their videos when it comes to, they put out videos for full moons, new moons, and then transits that are happening. They're like real deal astrologers, and they are both Black women, which cheers to you guys. So definitely check them out. And that's where I get a lot of inspiration for how I do my practices. But really, somebody had asked me, so what kind of full moon ritual is it? And I'm like, she's like, does it have to do with voodoo or any other type of pagan or witch practices? And I'm like, no, like, I totally respect and honor a lot of those practices, and there's a lot of things that I'm influenced. But my practice is just Queen Tasha. My practice is anything that benefits my highest self. That comes from all different different practices, spiritual practices, religious practices. Like my practice, my soul and spirit practice is influenced mostly by my intuition, but also by the influence and knowledge through other spiritual practices that resonate with me, and I take from different ones. And it's really all about me and my soul, my spirit, and then the type of life that I want to create on this planet in this human experience. So it doesn't have to do with any type of religion. Anybody can do a full moon practice, because like I said, as so above, so below. So like, no matter what you believe, that is present in this time. So I just like to honor that. And I like to, for new moons, I like to create intentions, create goals, create things that I want to focus on for this transit. And then for full moons, it's about releasing, it's about forgiveness, it's about being kind to yourself. For maybe the things that you put in during the new moon that you really didn't get to before that next cycle, or the cycle even 6 months from that moon that happens. So it's forgiveness in yourself. It's releasing what no longer serves you. And all of these practices are just to invite positive energy into your soul. So let's get into a little moon practice, a little full moon practice. So I always like to start simple with a little sage, and I got my, I finally invested in a nice little bowl torch, because I had one before and it stopped working, and then I was doing the lighter thing, and it's not as inviting for sage. So, and I'm a fire sign, so I love to see the fire going. So first you want to cleanse the space, cleanse the air, make it an inviting space that can be sacred for you to be able to be vulnerable in whatever it is that you want to release. And just be mindful of the fact that this is your practice. We're doing a virtual practice right now, so you are the only one in the rooms. So you can do and be whatever it is that you want to be. Before I move on, I just want to check out my comments over here. Let's see who we got. Solo Black, good to see again, sister. John, I'm making dinner while watching. And then somebody else. Oh, that's Maddie. Tasha, it's Maddie. Have to do what you have to do. I know a person in Miami who's a photographer. John, I hear you. Robin, hi, just joining. I'm in the Tampa area. Love to meet you. Maybe we put something. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. Shout out to everybody that's here and that is here to support me. Peace and blessings. So the first thing I like to do is just to kind of get centered. So we're just going to take a couple deep breaths. When you're taking the deep breaths, I want you to breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and then breathe out for 5 seconds. So just count that in your mind. And we're going to do that for a cycle of 7. So we're going to do the deep breath, hold, and breath out 7 times. Here we go. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. That's 1. Let's go 2. Deep breath in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Hold. Out. Deep breath in. Hold. And when you breathe out, I want you to sigh. Again, do that one more time. Deep breath in. Hold. Out. And for the last one on your sigh, I want you to scream as loud as you can, if you can, without disturbing anybody. Deep breath in. Hold. Out. You don't know how much that releases out of your body. So now we're going to move into a practice that I like to do for full moons, which is Ancestor Money. So if you're not familiar with Ancestor Money, something you can get on Amazon or from metaphysical stores, and it comes in different forms. The one I'm using today is the one that I just grabbed off of my altar, which is this Chinese looking money, and it's fake money, even though it looks pretty dopely real, but it's blank. I mean, it's and on here, what I like to do, and I use this for full moon and new moon rituals, but what this practice is for me is a karmic debt ritual, which is paying off anything that you feel has been holding from your abundance, from your destiny, anything like that. There's things that happened in our past life that we might have died before we got to fulfill. We are still here in this consciousness and in this 3D realm because we haven't fulfilled our destiny. And I believe that this is my last time on Earth, okay? I done woke up. I don't know where this motherfucking country accent just came from, but forgive me. I done had a couple because it's been a day. It's been a fucking day, if you heard before. And I don't plan on reincarnating on this planet ever again, just so we're clear. I'm going to live a very long life to inspire and be of service to one consciousness. That is my purpose on this planet. And I will fulfill that, and then I'll be out, and I will not come back here. I'm just saying that. Anyways, we definitely left some karmic debt in our past lives, and this is one of these type of things where you do that. You can do the same thing with bay leaves, where you write on bay leaves things that you want to release or things that you want to create and manifest, and then you burn those as a practice to send that up into the universe and let it go, and then as it so go, it will come back to you. So we're going to do a couple of those. So you don't have to have ancestor money, but I have some here for all of us. If you have a piece of paper, scratch out a piece of paper. And if this works better if you're writing something, so I would say scratch out a piece of paper. If you have some bay leaves handy, grab a couple bay leaves. That works too. And just write out just maybe like 3 to 5 things that you want to release during this moon cycle. And it could be anything. For me, it's releasing the fear of asking for help. Also releasing the fear of accepting love and many other things that I won't go into. But please, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and throw that in the chat if you want to, participate. Let's see who's on Instagram. I'm in Sarasota living in my unfinished RV. I lost so much hope and motivation to finish. Girl, I feel you. It's so hard when you're doing it by yourself. I feel you. As above, so below. As within, so without. Peace and blessings. Yes. All right. So I'm going to write out some things that we are going to burn as part of our ritual. And then I'm going to wrap up by doing something that I have yet to do on camera, which is a practice that I've been practicing for a little while now, which is reading oracle cards. I've been doing it for myself. If you've watched some of my videos, you've seen that I've incorporated that in some of the stuff. But I'm just going to do a general reading for the group that's here, and for the people that are going to watch this live replayed, that they will receive a message from these cards and something that resonates from them. So let's take a little second. I'm going to put a little music on for this and see if that inspires us to write something up. Let's see what we got.
Play by USB drive.
Okay. Here we go. When you're doing this, you really want to feel the release. It's good to maybe take a deep breath after you write it, to reread it, maybe read it out loud, and just really release it. that point and you wrote out a couple things, I want you to I'm crumbling it up because it just makes it easier to burn. So I'm going to take my little blowtorch. I'm going to read this one out loud. Let's see. Having the faith that my efforts will be rewarded. I release this into the universe. What I like about this is it really burns really good. And then you can just kind of ash it. Just to show you what this. I'm a fire sign, so I'm great with fire. It just kind of goes out by itself, but it burns completely. I'm just going to do those for the other ones. Oh my gosh, this is my theme song. If you watch my YouTube video, this is the theme song right here. So I'm just going to burn these other 4, and then we'll come back.
Got my head over water for the first time in years. Got my feet across the border from a land of tears. Ain't no way I'm going back under. Got my eyes in the wild blue yonder. Let's be on the horizon. Let's go find out. Feeling free. Feeling free. Free to live my life. Free to go and dance. Free to go left or right. I wanna feel free to go wherever I choose. Free to stay or just to lose. Free to sing, free to dance, free to give, just in romance. Free, that's what I wanna be. That's what I wanna be. Now things are moving along and I'm picking up steam.
All right. So these are intentions that we want to release. And to solidify that, we are going to check with the oracle and see to get a blessing on our intentions. So because today was such an animal day, I took 2 decks out just to see which one I felt called to, when I'm doing this. And because of today, with the dogs wanted to teach me a lesson, I'm going to read from my animal deck and see what there's at. I love this stuff. Like, look at this. How was this not meant for me? The lion, okay? And I've been really connecting with this deck. It's a very interesting deck. All of the author who made this oracle deck picked all animals that are endangered species to bring awareness to them, and then also to receive the message that they're teaching us from the way that humans and Mother Nature have affected the influence on their planet, on this planet of them. So yeah, it's a really big deck. So it's one of those things that you gotta really get in the shuffling. And I think I'm just gonna do a 3-card pull for past, present, and future. Just to kind of give us some insight on what our past intentions that we are trying to manifest, and then what is happening in our present moment, and what we have to look forward for the future, or things that we need to focus on for the future. So, for some readers, when stuff falls out of the deck, they just like say, "Oh, that's a message." I'm just like, "Well, it's a message, and these cards are too big for my hands." So we're not gonna go there. And each person who interprets the cards of the Oracle deck is basing it on their own intuition. So there's no magic. Essentially, there is magic, but there's no like crazy magic to this. The more that you read the cards of the oracles, the more that you become intuitive to the messages that you're receiving from the universe. So that's basically what happens. Tarot, on the other hand, is a whole different system that I will not get into because I am not on that level yet. I have a tarot deck that I do want to learn from, and it's on my vision journal, which is also going to be a video that comes out pretty soon about how I make my vision journal, which is that book right there. So anyways, let's go ahead and read these cards. So let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. That's the card that fell out. So we've got the White Rhino. Let me show that to YouTube first. The Instagram. The White Rhino on the card says stability, confidence, steadiness, and abundance. That's always so good to hear, right? So that is our past. Our present card is, look at this beautiful card. It was Timberwolf. And this is instinct, guidance, belonging, and order. That is our present. And the Wild Pelican is our future card. Here. And the Wild Pelican is ease, optimism, grace, and cooperation. So, to not get too deep diving into it, I'm just going to read from the book what the cards say. This is where you get your guidance, and then through practicing is where you get your intuitive messages through the cards. So when you first get your deck, it's important to touch it, feel it, connect with it, get on the level of it, and then start to practice with it, because over time then you will become more intuitive to not necessarily not need this, but to be able to interpret the message of what is coming through for maybe a specific person, or maybe a specific sign for a specific group of people. Overall, you're able to hone in those intentions and just be intuitive to the message that's being sent. So I digress. Anyway, so the White Rhino is number 15 in this deck. And this represents an earth card in this deck. And I will leave the link for this specific deck if you're into oracle cards in the description once I edit it. It's the Secret Language of Animals oracle card. So the White Rhino, stability, confidence, steadiness, abundance. Red, dusty plains, shrubs and desert trees, dry air, warm earth, warm, steady breath. Gray lashes blink slowly over dark eyes, reflecting strength and confidence. Second largest land mammal next to the elephant, rhino's armor, presence, and 5-foot horns gives him an... hold on. Sorry. I forgot to plug in my computer. See, this is all the things. And I'm back. Sorry. Rhino's armored presence and 5-foot horns gives him an air of aggression, but in truth, he is a passive, peaceful grazer, roaming open space in the quiet of his own company. White rhino are the calmest and most sociable of all living species of the rhinoceros. Living in small groups, they communicate with a wide variety of grunts, growls, snorts, squeaks, and bellows. They have highly sensitive hearing and a keen sense of smell and an ability to run 30 miles per hour with a great agility, but much preferred wandering the savannah in quiet seclusion and wallowing in cool mud baths to protect their sensitive skin from sunburn and insect bites. As a vision of confidence, steadiness, and grounded abundance, Rhino appears to be happy to spend most of his days alone, and yet shares a unique symbiotic relationship with woodpeckers who feed themselves on ticks from the rhino's body and return the favor by screeching out whenever danger is near. The message. When Rhino enters your world, he continues with a message to breathe deep into your center and quietly remember who you are. A deeply magnificent being, way more powerful than you may even realize. Take time to stand in the sun and plant your feet in the soil. Feel your connection to all things. Allow your outer protective layer to relax, knowing they will be there to protect you if you need them. But now is the time to trust your strength to be yourself and stand with quiet confidence in the world. Rhino's gift is to remind you that while life is sometimes calls for moments of decisive and powerful action, our greatest strength is often found in the presence that we exclude simply by owning our gifts and knowing who we are. The key to avoiding power struggles with others is to first come to peace with the power residing deep within. Spending time in a contemplative solitude, find comfort and sanctity in your own company. Worry not about ascending to the high plains. Now is the time to draw upon the grounded energy and abundance of the earth, to nurture yourself with the simple pleasures of life in the elements of earth, sun, and water. Find your version of Rhino's mud bath and give yourself the gift of full replenishment. When you merge back in the world, seek first to spend time with those who honor you most and celebrate your unique contribution. Communicate your needs to your close allies and be conscious about respecting the often unspoken needs of others. Be open to unexpected partnerships with those whose gifts complement your own. When creative relationships flow, each brings a spectacle part to the world, and all are made stronger as a result. And the affirmation is I am here to express myself powerfully in the world. I honor my gifts and the gifts of others. I stand strong and move with quiet confidence. My greatest power is the natural expression of who I am. So I hope that resonated with anybody. The next card is 39. Man, that spoke so much to me. So 39 is in the wood in this book. The timber wolf, instinct, guidance, belonging, and order. The moon is full on the Arctic plain. Can this be any more freaking... The moon is full? Come on. When it's cold outside, for the rest of y'all, not in Florida, but come on. The moon is full on the Arctic plain. Restless energy steers the night. The alpha male enters the circle, watched by all. He speaks through his eyes and undertones of growl. The pace of his movement dictates the plan. By the vision he holds in his mind, everyone knows what to do. He moves, and they move, with him in coordinated pursuit of their aim. The hunt has begun. Wolf has roamed the earth for millions of years, feared by some, revered by many, and honored as a special teacher and guide. In Egyptian mythology, the wolf was the scout to find the best path forward. His name meaning opener of the ways. The Taino people of Alaska viewed wolf as brother, believing they once were men. Native Americans respect and emulate wolf's great hunting abilities because He not only provides food for himself and his pack, but also for the greater community. Fox, coyote, and raven, who often follow close behind. While often associated with the raw call of the wild, the wolf pack way is highly ordered, cooperative, and disciplined. The alpha male and the alpha female are the only ones allowed to breed, and normally they mate for life, ensuring that only the strongest genes are passed down to future generations. The entire pack of 20 to 30 wolves cooperate in hunting, feeding, protecting, and training the pups, with aunt and uncles often competing for the chance to babysit, while dominance may be challenged with rituals of staring, growling, and body language. Respect is the underlying law, and fight are very rare. Many members stay with the pact for life. The message. Wolf comes to you as one of the most powerful guides on your journey to help cultivate an unbreakable line of communication with your intuition. Wolf reminds us that there is a pulse deep inner knowing that often surpasses what the surface mind can see. He calls for a level of trust in his primal instincts that will allow you to take action when the moment calls, even when you don't know why or exactly where it is leading you. There is a greater path unfolding. Let the call inspire you into motion. Trust the later you will look back and understand why. One of the things that will help open the channel of communication with your inner guide is to bring the aspects of your everyday life into order. Sometimes we resist cleaning the house because we feel it's not as important as the other things that need doing. But when we bring a healthy sense of focus to our schedule and order to our external world, our inner world quiets. Communication with life to become clearer. Wolf calls you to discover a new sense of freedom through order, while remaining open to the call of the moment. Lastly, Wolf comes to remind you that while there are times when you must walk alone, life's truest fulfillment comes in the joining energy with others toward a collective aim. Take time to honor the members of your pact. Call them close to you and recognize each for the gift they bring. Don't be afraid to ask for guidance and help. And when the time comes, being willing to be a source of the same. When spirits are aligned, there is great power in numbers. Man, is that not real? Whew. And the affirmation is, I am home with my tribe, right? I've been calling out my tribe, yo. I am home with my tribe, and I feel a sense of belonging in the world, guided by the instincts and the voice of God within. My actions are in service of the greater whole. If that is not the fucking truth, yo. Woo! All right. Y'all got me crying on camera, yo. I hate crying, but this is a part of my shadow work, and it's because I hate crying. But yeah, this is as real as it gets. You only live once, right? Cheers to that. All right. And card number 3, that represents our present. And card number 3 is our future. Let's see who's in the comments. Joe, good evening. What's up? John, hey. Cash flow, much love. I don't know that name. War PR Radio, Van Life, Solar Radio, and Satchel Designs. Hey girl. Hey girl, hey. All right. Last card is 22. Woo! Boy. They wanted me to come today real, y'all. So 22 represents air, and is the white pelican. Ease, optimism, grace, and cooperation. A wave rolls in our misty morning form thousands of miles away. As it rises to a peak, three white figures sail along the glassy face just above the surface. Seemingly still, but gliding in dynamic motion, they sail along the rolling water with lyrics to a song, link in a line, closely mirroring each other's movement. They also mirror the rising rhythm of the sea itself. I am a pelican. In the ancient art of alchemy, pelican symbolizes the legendary philosopher's stone, a stone that was said to turn base elements into gold. Pelican was thought to embody these same magical and transformative powers, drawing together the individual resources of a group to create the extraordinary. A large bodied bird with a 10-foot wingspan, pelicans bring the gift of close cooperation and shared journeys, gliding in formation with each other to create draft and lift, sometimes soaring in a V shape, sometimes in a straight line, just millimeters off the water's surface. Pelicans share long, uninterrupted expedition and will fly up to 100 miles a day simply to gather food in their large bills to feed their chicks. Pelicans are known by fishermen to be finely tuned barometers, always knowing when a storm is brewing or the tides are turning, and with air sacs beneath their skin that add buoyancy, they may drive into the water for food, but they quite literally cannot sink. The message: weaving the magic of air, sea, and earth, Pelican enters your world to open the way for ease, grace, cooperation, and optimism on your journey. At times of thoughts and feelings can feel like opposing forces, creating stress in our bodies and dispersing the energy of our actions. Just as pelicans dance between the elements to create life in general harmony, now is the time for you to bring together the energies of your mind, heart, and body into unified motion in the world. Elevate your thoughts to gain a fresh perspective and be willing to dive into the water of your deep emotions to bring new understanding to the surface as you awaken a path that honors both your higher vision and the well springs of your feelings. Challenges transform into opportunities, and the wave of life becomes the perfect playground to soar with grace and ease. Move through the world with a sense of conjure in yourself, and you will find your journey naturally coming into alignment with others who have discovered a familiar freedom of being. The unified thoughts, feelings, and actions of two or more together being to multiply the ocean of possibilities open to wide to greet you. From the outside, your life appears like a symphony of movement that defies nature, but within your soaring ways, it is the most natural, effortless, and joyful expression of who you came to be. Ashe! Yo! And the mantra or the affirmation is: at ease with the alchemy of myself, I soar with the energy of my tribe. Celebrate, honor, lifted by the breeze. I am flying. Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. You know what? If you don't believe in magic right now, if you don't believe in my freaking gifts right now, like, look at this. Look at this. Did you hear the cards, y'all? Like, did you hear the cards? That's all. Mic drop on that. I hope some things resonated with you. I hope you learned some new things. Like I said, a full moon ritual doesn't have to be anything specific. Just being aware that the full moon is happening and the energy of what that can cause in your life, and just being aware of that to use that power of this universal energy to release what no longer serves you. That's all you have to think about. You don't have to go deep. I go into a lot of different things and I have a lot of different practices. And like I said, my practices reflect my own spirit. They don't reflect any specific practice. And I honor and respect all of those practices that I have gained knowledge and wisdom and inspiration from. But I'm not practicing any one thing or another. So, I hope that today's full moon ritual broke you into practicing some things on your own. One thing that I would encourage you to do is if you have any crystals. And I didn't get into crystals. I have a couple here. I always have crystals out for rituals. If you have any crystals, I would say put those out somewhere where they can be in the light of the moon, because they absorb a lot and they can be released. They can be cleansed during this full moon. I would also say if you have any, I would say get some water in a glass bottle, put that also in the same spot for that to go in. And then after that's absorbed that energy, drink that water. And that also helps with the internal body. But these are all little things that we can go and do later. But these are little practices you can do. But what I just demonstrated today was just a simple practice that I wanted to share with you guys. These are things that are important to me. These are practices that are influencing my transition from the matrix world, from the rat race world, from the hustle world into a practice of service, healing, and connecting my fellow other beings to one consciousness. So I just wanted to share some of that with you guys today, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm gonna continue drinking because it's been a weird day. I got a lot more shit to do before the day ends, and I don't know what's gonna happen. It's almost 10 o'clock, so like who knows what's gonna happen. I'm probably just gonna get up early and do a bunch of shit. I have an event for tomorrow planned, which is a women's swap party. Women's swap party. I have to say women's clothing swap party, just to be clear. Where it's a networking event that I'm hosting in the Orlando area. If you're in the Orlando area and you're watching, please come out. It's at Merrill Park in Altamont Springs. And bring some clothes, take some clothes, or not. Just come and network and fellowship, and all the stuff is going to be donated to a good cause. So I am happy about that, and I'm looking forward to that. But I do have a lot to do before I prepare for that. So I will let you guys go here. I love you guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Peace and blessings. I'm out. Oopsie.